there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like there's things happening like Hi, welcome back to another video. As you would have seen from the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be reading cozy reads for fall, and all these reads were chosen by you meaning those of you on Instagram. So I did this, I think, a long time ago before, in that I also asked Instagram to choose my reads for me for fall, just that in that format it was in a post, but this time I just did it via story. Yeah, I'm just gonna post the results on screen. Like, those were my possible choices, and the results were first being The Spell Shop, next being The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, and the last meaning the most popular was Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Yeah, so those are the 3 books that I'll be reading for this video, and I've just finished the first one, which is why I was like, okay, I need to come on and update. So as always, I'm going to talk about trigger warnings first. Trigger warnings for fire injury, death of parent, grief, war, domestic abuse, child abuse, violence, murder, and death. But honestly, I felt like this was like a very wholesome story, so I don't really feel like the topics may be triggering, but they aren't in detail, if that makes sense. Yeah. So what The Spell Shop is about is basically, cover over here, we follow our main character called Keela, who was a librarian, and the book opens off with the library being on fire or something like that because of the revolution. Also in this book, she has a spider plant as an assistant. So when the library goes up in flames, they are in the midst of packing and trying to like take as many books as they can with them to flee the library and the fire and everything. And also the spider plant talks. Yeah, so while they were fleeing, they were like, where should we go? Keela remembered that she had an old cottage in this remote island left behind by her parents, and that she's never been back for a long time. So she was like, why not, let's just go there. And she discovers that she has a very nosy and very handsome neighbor who keeps showing up every day to make sure she's fed and to help fix up her new home. Afterwards, she was like, okay, what should I do with all this time? And then she discovers that she brought all those books back, right? She has spell books that can help with growing remedies, with like, for example, making trees alive again, or like accelerating growth of plants and things like that. So she was like, why not I sell jam in this town, because there's a bakery in town but the town doesn't have jam. And then the story develops from there. It's quite a long book for a cozy fantasy. There's also like a bit of romance between her and the neighbor, but I would say that the plot was not that in depth. It's not just like slice of life, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like there's things happening like, oh my god, you saw that, right? Holy shit, I need to stop getting attacked by my books. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with slice of life, it's just that this has like a plot where things actually happen and then you're like wanting to find out what happens, how the story concludes. Overall, I decided to give this book 3 stars because cozy fantasies is a genre that I like, but it takes a lot to like let me actually enjoy it, because I'm quite picky with my cozy fantasies. I need to connect with the character and I cannot feel bored if the character is just like doing the same thing every day and then it's just like peaceful, right? I cannot take it. It's just like those cozy games, I guess, but like in stories I need something more to happen, and I didn't really click with the characters for this story. Like, I wasn't convinced as to why the neighbor, which was Laren, liked Keela, or even like the other way around as well. I did like the whole remote island, small town vibe wherein everybody looks out for one another. And I also liked when they eventually started to set up the spell shop, but disguise it as like a gem store as the front. But I will also say that because the length was quite long, the pacing was quite slow as well. So if you are okay with all those things, this book would really work for you. It's just this book didn't work for me in that aspect. So yeah, I can see why like this has a high rating and it can be like a comforting read to people, but for me this was just an okay read, so I give it 3 stars. So I'm going to go into The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy next, and I hope I will like this one better. I would also like to give a special shout out to this other book that I read, which is also like in time for fall, but I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, so that book is Morbidly Yours. I read this by recommendation. I think I saw somebody recommending this on TikTok because they were like, what should you read if you liked Practice Makes Perfect? And then they recommended this, and I was like, okay, it's fall season. I loved Practice Makes Perfect, so I should love this, but I did not. I gave this book like 2.5 stars because I was just again bored with the story. I was quite like annoyed with the female main character also. She just wanted like a friends with benefits situation with Callum, but Callum is like the whipped for her kind of aspect. And then the storyline itself was like quite boring also. I thought we would go more into how like he is a legitimate undertaker in that he takes care of like corpses. He owns like a funeral home, but yeah, I was just not really like enchanted by that one. So I'm not gonna talk too much about that. So I just gave that 2.5 stars. I'm just gonna continue reading this and then start reading this, and I'll update you when I am somewhat into the book or when I have thoughts. What kind of camera I got is this? Okay, but anyway, I did not expect to have thoughts so soon. But oh my god, I have to read to you this line, okay? Our main character is Mercy. She said something when she returned, propping her fist on her hips, which made the bib of her overalls stretch over the swell of her breasts. The square of denim seemed to scream, "Hey, look at these! Aren't they fucking magnificent?" It was so unfair of Mercy to have magnificent breasts. I didn't know I was reading YA, but oh my god, I literally just saw this word, this word elites, and I was like, what is that even? And then this guy was like, elites, who talks like that? Okay, I don't want to cap it here because I feel like it will keep clashing, but I'm just gonna talk through with my hands, okay? Also, first time I'm like not wearing my home clothes in a while. Okay, so I came to update because I finished the next book, which is The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. Trigger warnings first. I have to leave the house in like, oh my god, I have to leave the house in like 9 minutes. So I am like a mess. Oh my god, 3 minutes. Oh shit, update. Okay, anyway, trigger warnings for death, sexual content, violence, death of parent, pregnancy, animal death, cancer, sexism, and abandonment. I decided to rate this book 3.25 stars, and I was quite surprised because I thought this was going to be like a contemporary romance, but it's actually a fantasy. So our male main character is a demigod, and in this world there are gods, right? And also there are like these zombie-like things called drudges, in that if they are lost souls who happen to go into a dead person's body, they become a zombie. And our main character is called Hart. He is a marshal who is tasked to take down these drudges and then deliver the dead bodies to undertakers, of which our female main character is one of them. She's called Mercy. She is helping to run her father's establishment called Birds All and Son, and she is the one recently taking care of the bodies and everything. Her father used to do it, but then he suffered a stroke recently, and because of that he can't like do these kind of physically demanding tasks anymore, so they switched roles. So Mercy was at first doing the office part, but then now she's doing the undertaker part, and she's actually liking it more. Hart and Mercy actually like do not like each other. They consider themselves like enemies. I read the book, but I still don't see why. I think it's just because they treated each other like quite rudely. Then afterwards they keep treating each other rudely. And then Mercy is like a curvy character, as you can see from here, and also you can see that Hart is like, both of them are quite tall. Okay, so I've just introduced the world to you, but the story is that Hart started writing like a letter to like nobody. He just addressed it to a friend because he was very lonely and he has no family. He considers himself to be like a loner because the two people that he used to be close with, like he had a falling out with because of the death of his mentor. So he started writing a letter thinking that it would never be sent to anybody. He posted it, but he wouldn't expect it to be sent to anybody because there's no name, there's no address. But it got sent to Mercy, and Mercy writes back because both of them like connect on this level in that they both feel like they're alone, they're lonely, and then they become pen pals. Yeah, so the story progresses from there. There's also the plot point of how Mercy's father's business is a small place, but there's this like super big chain called Cunningham or something like that, and they have been trying to buy out Mercy's father's shop because they're like saying that, oh, we're trying to buy you out so that you won't suffer so much losses, like you can't keep the business running for any longer and things like that. So there's a lot of plot points going on. On Hart's end, he also has like a new mentee, so he's now the mentor as compared to how like he used to have a mentor. His mentee is called Duckers, and they form like this very cute relationship also as a mentor and mentee, because Hart is like a very tsundere kind of character in that he is very strict on the outside but he's a very big softie on the inside. Yeah, so I was very like immersed from the first half. But then afterwards, okay, I'm going to talk about spoilers. Afterwards, they wanted to meet. So then Hart discovered that his pen pal was Mercy first, and then he didn't like say anything. Also because when he went in, Mercy was like, oh my god, what are you doing here? I need to meet an important person, can you please go away? And she was very rude to him, and then he was like trying to hint that he was the one, but Mercy was like, it can't be you, like, oh my god, can you please go away? That kind of vibes, right? Then he decided to not say anything. And then afterwards, I don't know what happened. Overnight, he just decided to court Mercy. Like, he suddenly realized his feelings. And that was why I was like a bit irritated by the book. Because if you're gonna go on and on about how you are enemies, don't make the transition to lovers so fast, you know? Like, at least make it more slow burn-ish. You know? Yeah, so I was quite irritated by that. And the fact that I thought this was a young adult book, but it's actually, the characters are in their 30s, okay? The descriptions of like her boobs and everything made me think that it was a YA. For some reason. So I don't know what that says about the writing, but yeah, and I wasn't really captured by their romance essentially. Even like the steamy scenes, I was just like trying to skip past it. So yeah, those are the points over there. And the story itself is, the plot points are interesting, but it's quite predictable as to where the story is going. But overall, it's an okay story. I would say that I can see why it works for people. It's like 4 stars on Goodreads, like more than that. So I definitely am in the minority here. I don't think 3.25 is a bad rating. It's just like a below average rating. So yeah, this really reminded me of a combination of the Rebecca Ross, that pen pal writing book, and Morbidly Yours. It reminded me of a combination of both, also with like a bit of Percy Jackson because of the demigods, like bits and pieces and then put together into this book, which I think is great. Like, it's an interesting premise, but I wanted to like it more, is what I'm trying to say. I have started reading A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, but I have no thoughts yet because I literally just started reading it. So wish me all the best for that. I really hope that book will be like the redeeming point for this video, because so far both books have been 3 stars-ish. Yeah, so okay, I need to go. Okay, bye! I have so much blush on my face, but it doesn't even show up on camera, what the hell? Okay, anyway, happy Halloween! This is my Halloween outfit. I don't know if you can tell who I'm dressed up as. Let me do it. Let me do a imitation. I'm dressed up as Woozy, or I mean technically Hoshi also, for their Stupid Idiot live performance on Music Bank. Today is the 1st of October, and I finished A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping recently, so I wanted to come on and update my thoughts about the book. I was overly ambitious and thought that I could read spooky books as well, but I guess it will just be cozy books for this time. But I'm glad that we're ending the video with this book, because A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, let me talk about trigger warnings first. Abandonment, classism, emotional abuse, racism, ableism, sexual content, xenophobia, death, and mental illness. I gave this book 4.5 stars, and it's gonna be one of my favorites of 2025. I really enjoyed it. It really proved to me that I do like cozy fantasies if they're done well. Basically, we follow Sarah, who used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain, but she resurrected her aunt Jasmine from the dead using like a forbidden, I think it's a forbidden spell, or like a spell that when used, you use up a lot of your own magical powers. So she was left with very, very little. She was also exiled from the guild for that spell that she did, and she just continues life as is by running the inn with her aunt. She also has a friend who is a talking fox. Basically, she was a witch who made a mistake, and the backlash of that mistake was she got trapped in the body of a fox. And I think like 15 years passed, so she was like 14 or 15 when she resurrected her aunt, and then afterwards, when she's like 30, she finds out about this old spell that has the key to restore her power. And so with the help of a new character called Luke, who is a handsome and icy magical historian, and along with the fox called Clemmy, and like all the other characters in the inn, they try to find the ingredients needed for the spell to restore her power. So it's kind of like a quest, kind of, and it's like a mystery, and it's also like cozy fantasy, and there's also romance in this, and I really liked it. Like, I really liked the plot, I liked the characters, I just love it so much. Only possible critique that I have is that I feel like it's a tiny bit predictable, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. Like, I really cannot find much critiques I have, so maybe I might up my rating for this book afterwards, I don't know, but as of now it's 4.5. There is also very good representation. Luke has a sister who has autism, and there's also like talks about that as well, about how she's treated in the real world and also how she's treated in the magical society. And yeah, you grow to love all the characters that are introduced in this book, and I just really love that they have this found family kind of feel, which I really like as a trope as well. So yeah, I just love it so much. So I think, honestly, I don't know whether I like this book more or Sanggu Mandana's other book more, because I remember that I listed that book as a favourite, but like I cannot tell you the story right now. But I really liked this one, so yeah, I think it's a good place to end the video on. So if you're still watching, I hope you enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel for more of such videos, and I think I'll just end the video here. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day wherever or whenever you're watching. Please remember to stay hydrated, and I'll see you soon in my next video.